So tell me, Joe, how does it feel to put your rock and roll shoes back on again after all these years?
Well, first of all, once a rock and roller, always a rock and roller. Like Charlie, I came up with a classical music background. But growing up in the late 60s, with all that great music being made, how could we resist when we got the call to join a band? As it turned out, the band was a highly talented and eclectic bunch of musicians. We combined vocal styles from groups like The Association and The Circle, and yes, the Beatles, along with elements from Bob Dylan and The Doors. By the way, in the late 60s, when the RP was being formed, I was inspired by a group called the New York Rock and Roll Ensemble that was formed by a bunch of guys from Juilliard. Among their instruments were 2 oboes and a cello. They played a kind of fusion rock that was really very good. Bach trio sonatas interspersed with rock cuts. The head of Atlantic Records, who signed them, was said to have remarked about the band, "You guys play all the right notes on all the wrong instruments." I bring that up because I'm an oboe player. When we were making our second album, the guys wanted me to play some oboe solos on some of the cuts, and I complained that I cannot improvise. So Larry went to the piano and put down a solo or two and recorded it and said, just take this home and model something like it. So I did, took the recording and I transcribed it note for note, wrote it down on sheet music, and came back into the studio the next time and laid it down just like Larry played it. I thought that was pretty cool. But you wanted to know, how does it feel to get back into these shoes? Are you ready, Boots? Start walking. After we found each other again, thanks to the magic of the internet, we decided we would get together again to celebrate the 50th anniversary of our first record. So we arranged to get together in 2018 on this farm in upstate New York, where my wife Sid and I now live. I mean, we were ready for a Woodstock vibe. Going down to Groff's farm, going to join in a rock and roll band. A little poetic license there. Can you go back after 50 years and feel 19 again? Yes, you can. We seemed to pick up right where we left off. And out of that effort came a lot of great new music, as the other guys have talked about.
I heard that you lost one of your band members in 2021. How has that impacted you and the other guys in the group?
If Bill couldn't be a rock star, he decided he would become a dentist. But that was just his day gig. He devoted his nightlife to the drums. During those years when we were living our lives and raising our families, Bill played in every pickup band he could get himself into. When we resumed contact again, Bill was the one who relentlessly scoured the internet to see if the Rainbow Press was out there anywhere. It turned out that our records were selling on eBay and Amazon, sometimes for crazy prices. He found newspaper clippings that mentioned us. He traced us to bootlegged CD sales in Europe. That was how we learned that we were more popular there than we were in the good old USA. And he kept the band up to date on everything he found. He was the group's de facto historian. Bill's excitement about the band, especially when we got back together again, was palpable. A humble guy, Bill was the one who always boosted the rest of us. That's why news of his unexpected death last October was such an utter shock. I talked earlier about going back 50 years and feeling like you're 19 again. The entire reason this band clicks again and is able to make a good, cohesive sound is because, despite the gap of a lifetime, we came together 3 years ago with that 19-year-old mindset that just gelled in the music. We were buddies, and time did not erase that bond. I'm not sure we can process the fact that one element of that bond is gone. I'll just say that Dave, our bass player, is gone too, but that is by his own choice. He's still here, and we still care about him. But Bill, sadly, is gone. The Rainbow Press started out as a very good band with talented young musicians. The Rainbow Press is still a good band with a lot more to say, and we'll be saying it with a different perspective than the perspective we had in our youth. Bill thought our music was the best rock music he ever played. One of his favorites in our recent release is a song called Stuck in the Flow. The song testifies to the difficulty of living in our technological age. As a final tribute to Bill, here is some of that song.